Hey, what's going on? Good evening. Good evening. It's Jeremy back with another another video. It is Tuesday evening, the 7th of January. It's about 7:34 p.m. I'm actually in my combine. Um, and I wouldn't say we're hunting, but I was looking for basically maybe a position off the open. So right now we've already swept out basically the buy side from 6 p.m. open for Globex, and ultimately we'd be targeting the sell side level. I didn't annotate it because I've just been watching, but one of the other things that I kind of wanted to do with this video, and I wanted to take the time to do this, is we're also, we had a tremendous move back inside today, or move short, and essentially we're in an older initial balance excuse me, from the 3rd of January. So it's one of the reasons why I was actually even going to consider a position this evening. I know I said I wasn't really going to trade anything this week if it wasn't out of, say, a practice account, or it'd have to make sense, and it would only be like Monday or Tuesday. Well, technically this is going to be like a Wednesday, but it's a Tuesday night. So had we not had this massive sell-off back into this initial balance range, I probably wouldn't even consider this. But I've also got another idea as to what may present itself. And the idea behind that is, honestly, if you happen to catch the live stream from today, I actually didn't take, did I? I did not. I didn't take a position today because what I was looking for didn't exactly play out. I was waiting for basically an additional tap into fair value, and price kind of did what I thought it was going to do, but it did it in one pass, and then it dumped. So rather than chase, I just let it, and I watched. I watched all of this, all of the wonderment. So this was the 15-minute area of fair value. When we got this initial tap in, that was at 9 a.m. and then it dumped. So anybody that was watching, saw all of this, and like I said, even with this massive 5-minute candle, there was nothing in me that said, "Hey, yeah, go ahead," because it's gonna keep going. I had an idea of what it was gonna reach for. I had two areas back here. One was actually a previous manipulation leg, and the other was basically a 6 a.m. 4-hour candle low, which price took out. And then I just kind of started looking back as to all of the other sell side areas, and then other areas for price to revisit. And then I came up on this one. So when I saw basically that we closed inside this threshold, even though we had this move here, this move, we're still inside that range. So I would be anticipating, at least at minimum, my target would be here, right? But the purpose of this video was not so much to talk about, this evening position, but to kind of give you a little intra weekly recap. And one of the things that I wanted to do was leave this 5-minute for a second. And since we're technically not in a position, I can still watch. So let's go all the way out to the daily. And I know I've got like a lot of annotations on here, but bear with me. I'll clean this up. And there, it's clean. Okay, so what are we looking at right now? So what we're looking at is this here is going to be Monday's candle. This is Monday. So Monday closed above, obviously, Friday. Tuesday opened, and we basically closed below Monday. So at this point, a lot of the idea could be, okay, well, if we're looking at it from a weekly profile standpoint, or a weekly profile perspective, we could potentially be looking at a Tuesday low of the week. Well, I also put this in did I? I don't think I did. Um, I was trying to remember to see if I actually put it in the chat for the live stream today. I don't believe that I did. However, I'll just simply say there are a couple of different things that could actually occur. And one of those things is, could this actually be a Tuesday low of the week? It could be, yeah. Because we have economic news tomorrow, and let's just jump over to market news, and we'll look at the 8th because that's where we are. 8:15, we've got ADP. 8:30, we've got jobless claims. We also have Fed conversation or Fed speak in the morning. So Waller is going to speak at 8:30 as well, which is probably going to have, I don't know what kind of effect. Have no idea. I honestly do not know. But tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m., you'll actually have the FOMC meeting minutes, where that's actually going to be something that will be obviously disseminated amongst everybody that's, I guess you could say, that's not in the know, and that will have some ripple effect in the market as well. So when you consider what potential volatility exists, especially tomorrow, and I will be live. We'll actually go through the jobless claim. So one of the things that I did this morning, which I think is somewhat helpful, I've not really seen anyone else do it. I felt like instead of just saying, the results were positive, negative, whatever it was, I actually just like pasted the results, the actual based on the forecast and the previous. I just put them in the chat. So whomever is actually watching along, you'll see what those numbers are. You don't have to necessarily go find them. So that's something that I'll do basically for the ADP as well as jobless claims and Fed minutes. I don't know. So yeah, just something to be mindful of. But let's go back real quick to the daily and finish this thought process out. So sorry about that. I just kind of wanted to kind of give you like a little bit of a reasoning, I guess you could say, or a bias as to why I'm leaning or thinking the way that I'm thinking. And again, it's just an idea, not financial advice, but just something to be mindful of, just something to think about. But again, Monday we closed above Friday. Tuesday we opened inside, but we've closed below Monday. Right. So in any other circumstance or any other situation, you probably would look at this and say, okay, well, that's a Tuesday low of the week based on where we closed. Well, technically, yes, it is Tuesday evening, but Globex open is going to be the following day. So technically, we're already starting the Wednesday candle. So we've already had an open. Somebody would already look at this and say, well, there's a wick. So that's already a manipulation and we're bullish. Right. So Tuesday low of the week. Is that possible? It is possible. Here's what I'm leaning on. I'm leaning a little bit more on the fact that we do have not just economic news tomorrow, but we also have FOMC meeting minutes. So I like to refer to those kind of events like a a sentiment and a fundamental driver, and sometimes goes against the technical, because there's intervention. So I would almost look at this Wednesday and just simply say we could potentially have a Wednesday low of the week to take this out, and then maybe see that rally long is a possibility. That's kind of, I guess you could say, a little bit of my caked in or baked in bias is a short, right? Whether that plays out, it remains to be seen. I was bullish coming into this week, but I wanted to, again, I think I also said I wanted to see how Monday opened, and if we had to wait until Tuesday to see what Tuesday did. We've now seen that we've got, for right now, a preliminary low of the week, but Wednesday is really going to be the catalyst as to whether or not we're going to see a Wednesday low based on the news, and then some bullish price action from that. So with that in mind, as far as my personal bias in terms of what I think is possible, that is one of the reasons why I would actually be looking for the run out of this initial balance sell side liquidity from the 3rd of January. So that would be why I would be looking for the shorts. And again, my simple premise: before we go long, before we go up, we're going to go short, we're going to go down. So I would be looking for a continued sell off before maybe a pop on maybe ADP at 815. And at that point, you'll see maybe, I don't know, buy side taken, or some form of buy side liquidity taken at 815. And then going into the 8:30 hour, potentially that sell side liquidity taken, buy side, maybe a retest or a liquidity, and then a push off of that. Excuse me, long, create some sort of a accumulation buildup, and then based on the meeting minutes, depending on where price is, depending on what's been mitigated, depending on where, where there may be potential inefficiency, we might see just the results of the meeting minutes kind of push price either higher or just to remain neutral until Thursday. And one quick note, and then we're going to get out of here. I'm going to get out of here. But one other quick note: because of respect being paid to former 39th president of the United States, Jimmy Carter, on Thursday, I know that CME is basically closing early. So Thursday is going to have a little bit of, I don't want to call it an irregularity, but it'll have a earlier close. So I don't know what that will mean in respects to price and a response of what happens from tomorrow's information for jobless claims, and ultimately what kind of an impact that will actually have on NFP for Friday. Maybe none, but I think it'll be interesting. And we'll see if if there is a position to be had here. As of right now, as you can see, nothing to do. Nothing to do. It's doing its own thing, which is little or nothing, which is to be expected on the day prior to jobless claims. This is kind of what would happen, and I believe we're probably going to have CPI next week. So this is kind of, sort of, what I would expect next week. So CPI, I don't know. I'm going to look at the calendar, and we'll see how that goes. But anyway, hope everybody's having a good evening. Enjoy yourself. I will see you tomorrow morning, probably around like 7:45. And we'll go until, I guess based on the reports, we'll probably go until about the same time that we did today. And again, the chance of seeing me trade anything in a combine tomorrow is like less than 1/10 or 1/2% It's going to be very small. So if we take anything, it'll be in a practice account. I just don't need to. And don't want to. So yeah. So everybody enjoy the evening. Take care. Stay safe. I'll see you in the morning. All right. Later.